Hello from Channel Islands!
Hey travel friends, it is Stoof here from Travel SzN. Welcome back to our channel, and welcome to our video on one exciting day in Channel Islands National Park. For our visit to Channel Islands National Park, we selected to see Santa Cruz Island. In this video, I'm going to talk about our itinerary for one full day at Santa Cruz Island, and I'm going to provide need-to-know information for you if you're planning your own trip to the Channel Islands. Before I dive into all of this helpful information, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you enjoy travel and nature related content like what we're about to show you in this video. The Channel Islands lie off the California coast in the Pacific Ocean. Of these 8 Channel Islands, 5 of them are accessible through the National Park Service. You really only have 2 options for transportation to these Channel Islands, and that is to take the public boat, which is the Island Packers Cruise, or you could take a private boat to visit the islands. While I'm talking about transportation, I also want to mention that there is no transportation once you make it onto the islands. The only way to get around once you're on an island is to walk around by foot or to take a boat or a kayak around to different spots on the island. To get to Santa Cruz Island in August of 2024, we booked our Island Packers Cruise about a month in advance. I have a link for the Island Packers website in the description under this video. I'd like to note that Island Packers Cruises has 2 destinations at Santa Cruz Island, Scorpion Cove and Prisoners Harbor. We selected to get dropped off at Scorpion Cove, also known as Scorpion Anchorage. Due to constant changing conditions at sea, Island Packers Cruises provides a phone number for you to call the morning of your cruise before you head to the marina. And this is very important because in the past, I tried to visit Channel Islands National Park in the springtime and my cruise was canceled due to rough conditions at sea. So make sure you check that phone number before making that trek over to the marina.
Good morning! It's Friday and we're here at Island Packers. It is
very foggy.
Very foggy this morning. We're hoping that burns off, but we'll see. But at least we are able to take our boat over to Santa Cruz Island today, hopefully. They said that we're good, so
yeah,
you know.
Got the weather confirmation.
Yeah.
She called in first thing this morning, so.
Yep. So we're gonna go get checked in at Island Packers and we'll keep you posted.
We arrived to the Island Packers area around 7:15 a.m. for an 8 a.m. departure. We also booked packed lunches and a breakfast burrito through Harbor Cove, which is a cafe and restaurant located just a few minute walk from the Island Packers building. They can deliver your food to you in the morning before you get on your boat, or you could go pick it up from the restaurant. On our journey over to Santa Cruz Island, we were on the boat for about an hour and 15 minutes. It was a foggy, misty morning. We did still get to see some beautiful dolphins come up along the side of the boat, and as this was happening, the boat slowed down for a bit so people could get over to the side of the boat to watch the dolphins, so that was a pretty awesome experience. Once we made it to the island, we disembarked the boat at Scorpion Anchorage, where we met up with our guide for the kayaking excursion. We booked our kayak tour through Santa Barbara Adventure Company. They offer several different package options for kayaking. They also have snorkeling tours. The kayaking tour that we selected was the Discovery Sea Caves tour, which was about $150 per person in a tandem kayak. The tour lasted just over 2 hours from the initial orientation and safety briefing to getting on the water, exploring the sea caves, learning more about the area, and making it back to the shore. While we were on this Discovery Sea Caves tour, we ventured in and out of 4 or 5 different sea caves. We learned more about the marine biology of the area. We learned more about invasive and native plants growing on the island. We learned about the history of this island from the native people to the ranching period to the preservation of the island today. We also saw a decent amount of marine life from the kayaks, so that was really cool to experience. After the kayak tour, we made it back to the shore and walked our gear back to the Santa Barbara Adventure Company check-in area where we could change into drier clothes for the rest of our day's activities. I also saw my first Channel Islands fox here. This was an adult fox. They're pretty small, they're about the size of a house cat. This guy was just hanging out in the shrubs and forest just off the trail near the restrooms. After changing clothes, we stopped over at the Scorpion Ranch Visitor Center. There weren't any rangers or staff at the visitor center when we stopped by. It was more of just a small museum space for you to learn more about the park. There also is a stamp in there if you want to stamp your national park passport booklet, and there is a visitor's log. After checking out the visitor center, we started our loop hike where we hiked to Cavern Point, over to Potato Harbor, and then back down an elevation through the Scorpion Ranch campground back to Scorpion Anchorage. The particular hiking route that we chose was just under 5 miles. The total elevation gain was about 630 feet. I would rate this trail as moderate. The initial incline is probably the most strenuous part of the hike as you're coming up the hill from the visitor center to that first overlook, looking down at Scorpion Anchorage. Once we made it up to that elevation point with that beautiful view looking down at Scorpion Cove, we got out our packed lunches and had a nice little snack break before continuing our hike to Cavern Point. Now, you may have noticed quite a range in visibility from very foggy to almost perfectly clear in these short few hours of our day at Channel Islands National Park on Santa Cruz Island. Back at the mainland of California in the Ventura area, it was foggy all day. However, at Santa Cruz Island, we would go through sections where it was open, clear blue sky. The water was beautiful turquoise colored because of the sun coming down and lighting it up. And then we'd go through sections of the island completely foggy and we had barely any visibility. Due to these changing weather conditions, I recommend bringing a rain jacket / a windbreaker with you, as it can go from pretty warm to pretty cool at any time during the day while you're there on the island. We continued on to Potato Harbor, hoping that it would clear up a bit, but that was not the case. It was very foggy. We just got a little glimpse of Potato Harbor in the 10-minute period that we stood there watching it, hoping for a little bit more visibility. But it just didn't happen that day, so we'll just have to come back and see it some other time. For those of you that are curious what Potato Harbor looks like on a clear day, here's an image of Potato Harbor I screenshotted online. As we made our way back down the hill, heading back towards the Scorpion Cove area, I saw a baby western fence lizard, and we saw some of the endemic island scrub jays, which are only found on Santa Cruz Island. That's the only place they're found in the whole world. And just after passing through the lower Scorpion campground on the way back to the cove, we saw a baby island fox, which was absolutely adorable. And we saw even another island fox after passing through the Santa Barbara Adventure Company check-in area, making our way back to the cove. The day flew by, and before we knew it, it was 4:30 p.m. and it was time to get in line to wait to get back on the Island Packers cruise to take us home to Ventura, California on the mainland. Our boat picked us up at 5 p.m. and we made it back to Ventura at 6 p.m. On the Island Packers boat ride back, we saw water birds, sea lions, seals, and more dolphins. And that brought our adventurous day at Santa Cruz Island to a close. I really enjoyed our one day at Channel Islands National Park on Santa Cruz Island. If you are planning your own trip to Santa Cruz Island, I definitely recommend spending some time on the water and spending some time on land, as both parts of the national park are incredible. We did the Discovery Sea Caves kayaking tour first with an afternoon hike to Potato Harbor. That filled up our entire day trip to the island. As I mentioned, there are several other kayaking tour options as well as snorkeling excursions. In addition to the Potato Harbor hike, you could just hike out to Cavern Point and back to Scorpion Cove. That would shorten your hike to about 2 miles out and back. There is another hike to Smuggler's Cove, which is about 7 miles and a little more strenuous than the hike to Potato Harbor if you have the time to fit that in during your day. And there's always the option to stay overnight. You just have to book that in advance on recreation.gov if you would like to backpack into one of the campgrounds on Santa Cruz Island. I have a link for that in the description under this video. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up my video of our day trip to Channel Islands National Park, Santa Cruz Island. If you've already been to Santa Cruz Island, then leave a comment below and let me know your favorite thing that you did while visiting this national park. And if you've been to other islands, let me know what island was your favorite. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments. If you guys have questions about our day here on Santa Cruz Island, you can also leave a comment and I'll get back to you to the best of my knowledge. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Have a great day, and I wish you happy travels.